Let's be real for a second. You've been told your whole shooting life that the AR-15 is king. 30 rounds, familiar controls, modular as a Lego set. And yeah, it earns that reputation. But here's the thing, nobody in the gun industry wants to say out loud. In 2026, the shotgun has caught up. Not just caught up, in a home defense scenario, it has pulled ahead. We're not talking about your dad's old pump gun sitting in the corner of the closet collecting dust. We're talking about weapons that cycle faster, hit harder, and stay on the right side of the law in places where your AR can't even show its face. The gun industry won't tell you this because AR-15 sales keep the lights on. But I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to show you what actually works. Number 10. Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical. Picture this, a competition shotgun that decided it was done playing nice and showed up to a gunfight. That's the Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical in a nutshell. This gun was born on the 3-gun circuit, the kind of environment where a half-second delay costs you the match and malfunctions are just not an option. Mossberg took that DNA, wrapped it in tactical black, slapped on ghost ring sights, and loaded it up with an 8-round magazine tube. The gas system is tuned for speed. We're talking split times that rival semi-auto rifles. The trigger is sharp, almost too sharp for a defensive gun, but that's because Mossberg didn't dumb it down for the tactical market. They kept the competition guts intact. The bolt release is oversized, the loading port is beveled. The receiver is drilled and tapped for optics, so you can drop a red dot on it and run this thing like a CQB carbine. Here's the math the AR crowd doesn't want to hear. Your AR-15 gives you 30 rounds of 5.56, 1 projectile per round. The 940 Pro gives you 8 rounds of double-aught buck. That's 72 projectiles. In a close-quarters ambush, you're not threading the needle on a headshot. You're flooding the threat zone with lead. The shotgun wins that fight, every single time. Street price, approximately $950 to $1,100. This one's for the guy who trains, who runs drills, who doesn't just own guns, he masters them. Number 9. Fostech Origin 12. What happens when engineers stop asking why and start asking why not? You get the Fostech Origin 12. This is a semi-automatic shotgun that feeds from AR-style detachable magazines, 5-rounders, 10-rounders, even drum mags. No more loading one shell at a time through a tube. You're doing tactical mag changes like you're running a rifle course at gunsight. The short-stroke gas piston system cycles everything. Light target loads, heavy 3-inch magnums, slugs, breaching rounds. The recoil impulse is softer than most pump guns because the gas system eats the punch before it reaches your shoulder. And the ergonomics? If you've ever run an AR-15, you already know how to run this. Safety selector, charging handle, magazine release, it's all there, right where your hands expect it to be. Here's the kicker nobody talks about. In states where AR-15s are restricted, the Origin 12 often flies under the radar because it's classified as a shotgun, not a rifle. You get semi-auto speed, rifle-style handling, and devastating stopping power, all while staying compliant. Is it perfect? No, it's heavy. The magazines are bulky. But if your threat scenario involves multiple attackers or an extended engagement, this thing turns into a force multiplier. You're not just defending anymore, you're dominating. Street price, approximately $1,500 to $1,800. Number 8. IWI Tavor TS12. 15 rounds of 12 gauge before you touch a reload. Let that sit for a moment. The IWI Tavor TS12 looks like something out of a sci-fi game. And honestly, that's a compliment. This is a bullpup shotgun with 3 rotating magazine tubes, each holding 5 rounds. You rotate them manually, which means you can load 1 tube with buckshot, 1 with slugs, and 1 with less lethal rounds. 3 guns in 1 package. The bullpup design keeps the overall length down to just 28 inches while maintaining an 18.5-inch barrel. Full ballistic performance in a package shorter than most AR pistols. The trigger? Acceptable. It's not crisp, but bullpup triggers never are. You learn the reset and it becomes second nature. The weight balance feels odd at first because all the mass sits in the rear. Run 100 rounds through it and your brain rewires itself. After that, it's a CQB monster. Here's why it beats a rifle in tight spaces, an AR-15 with a 16-inch barrel and stock. Runs 32 inches total. The TS12 is 28 inches with an 18.5-inch barrel. You clear corners faster. You don't broadcast your position by sticking 3 feet of barrel around a door frame. Street price, approximately $1,400 to $1,600. Number 7. Beretta. A 300 Ultima Patrol. You look at this gun and your first thought is, that's just a bird gun painted black. Wrong, dead wrong. The Beretta, a 300 Ultima Patrol is what happens when a legacy gunmaker takes a platform that has been proven over decades in the field and weaponizes it. The A300 action has been around for years. It has one reputation above everything else. It does not stop. Beretta's self-cleaning gas system is the core of that reputation. Carbon buildup, the thing that chokes semi-auto shotguns under hard use, doesn't accumulate fast enough to slow this action down. You can run 1,000 rounds without a cleaning session and it keeps cycling. That is not a marketing claim. That is a documented design characteristic. The Ultima Patrol takes that bulletproof action and adds everything a defensive shooter actually needs. An enlarged bolt release you can find under stress. A crossbolt safety positioned where your thumb lands naturally. A Picatinny rail up, front for a weapon light or optics. And an adjustable length of pull stock, so whether you're wearing a plate carrier or answering the door at 2 a.m. in a t-shirt, the fit works. The recoil is almost non-existent. The gas system is so smooth that shooters who've never touched a shotgun can run this gun without flinching. That matters in a household defense context. Not everyone behind your front door is a trained shooter. This gun meets them where they are. Here's why it beats a rifle for the everyday defender. An AR-15 has a learning curve. Charging handles, forward assists, bolt catches. Under life or death stress, that checklist becomes a liability. The A300 Ultima Patrol has 2 controls, a safety and a trigger. Under stress, simplicity doesn't just help, it wins. Street price, approximately $1,100. If you chose this, you're the pragmatic defender. You don't need the most expensive gun on the shelf. You need the one that works. Every single time for every person in your home. Number 6. Standard manufacturing. DP12. 2 barrels. 2 magazine tubes. 1 trigger pull, fires 2 rounds simultaneously. Say hello to the standard manufacturing. DP12, the gun that makes every other shotgun on this list look like it's playing it safe. This is a pump-action double-barrel shotgun that holds 14 rounds of 12 gauge, 7 in each tube, and fires 2 shells per trigger pull. You are not reading that wrong. 2 rounds, 1 pull. Every time. The controls are straightforward once you learn the pump sequence. The 18-inch barrels keep it maneuverable. The aluminum receiver keeps the weight manageable at around 9.5 pounds loaded, which, given what this thing does, is impressive engineering. Is it practical? Depends on your scenario. In a home defense situation where you need to stop a threat immediately and decisively, the DP12 delivers a payload that is simply not comparable to anything else on this list. The downside? Follow-up shots require a full pump stroke after each double fire, and the manual of arms takes practice. But if your priority is raw terminal performance in close quarters, nothing else here doubles up on every pull. Street price approximately $1,500. Number 5. Mossberg 590 RM Chisel. You've heard it before. Pump action is dead. Semi-autos made the pump obsolete. Tell that to the Mossberg 590 RM Chisel. This gun is proof that pump guns didn't die. They just stopped caring what you think. The big engineering move here is the relocated magazine tube. It runs alongside the barrel instead of underneath it. That drops the bore axis, which directly reduces muzzle flip. Sounds like a small tweak. It isn't. Follow-up shots are noticeably faster. Recoil feels softer. The gun stays flat where other pumps are climbing toward the ceiling. Then there's the Chisel stock, a minimalist chassis design with a vertical grip that forces your hand into the correct position. No more tactical pistol grips that wreck your wrist angle. This stock keeps your arm in line with the bore. Recoil transfers straight back into your shoulder instead of rotating up and over. The difference in control is immediate and real. The pump stroke itself has been refined. Tighter tolerances, polished rails, shorter throw. You rack it once and you know this isn't your grandfather's 590. This is something else entirely. Here's why it still belongs in 2026. Pump guns don't rely on gas systems, pistons, or springs. In sub-zero temperatures, in sandy desert environments, after years of storage in a safe, this gun functions. Period. An AR-15 is a machine. Machines have bad days. This pump doesn't. Street price, approximately $950. If you chose this one, you're a survivalist. You trust mechanics over electronics, and you sleep fine knowing your home defense gun will work the first time, every time, no matter what. Number 4. Benelli M4 EXT. Let's talk about a legend. The Benelli M4 has a reputation that was not built by marketing departments. It was built on battlefields. The United States Marine Corps ran this gun through conditions that would turn lesser weapons into expensive paperweights, and the M4 kept running. The secret is the Argo system, auto-regulating gas-operated, which uses 2 pistons instead of 1. Heat and carbon get distributed across a wider surface area, less stress per component, longer service life. The bolt is overbuilt. The receiver is steel. The whole package feels like it was designed to survive a tank parking on it. The EXT model gives you a 7-round magazine tube, ghost ring sights, and a Picatinny rail so you can mount optics, a weapon light, a laser, whatever your scenario calls for. The trigger pull is heavy but consistent. No creep, no surprises. And recoil is manageable even with full-power 3-inch Magnum loads, where the AR-15 is modular, which means parts wear out and need replacing. The M4 is a sealed system. You clean the barrel, you wipe down the bolt. Done. No tiny springs to lose on your garage floor at midnight. No gas rings to replace. It's reliability through simplicity, built in Italy by people who understand that over-engineering is not the same as durability. Street price, approximately $2,200. Yes, it costs more. No, it's not overpriced. If you chose this, you know the M4 is the benchmark, and you're willing to invest accordingly. Number 3. Beretta 1301LT. If the Benelli M4 is the battle-tested workhorse, the Beretta 1301LT is the Ferrari. And we mean that literally. This gun is a collaboration between Beretta and Langdon Tactical, one of the most respected gunsmithing houses in the country. Ernest Langdon took the already fast 1301 platform and made it faster. The LT version features a loading port that's been opened up and beveled for speed reloads. The bolt release is oversized. The trigger has been tuned. Every sharp edge has been smoothed out. But the real magic is the blink gas system. Beretta's engineering team designed this action to cycle in 36 milliseconds. That is faster than your brain can process the recoil impulse. You pull the trigger and, before you even feel the kick, the next round is already chambered. Follow-up shots come so fast that untrained observers think you're shooting full auto. The LTT package includes a Nordic Components magazine extension pushing capacity to 7+1. The Chisel stock is adjustable. The sights are tritium night sights. Fit and finish are flawless. This gun doesn't feel like a tool. It feels like a precision instrument that happens to be devastating. Here's the number that wins the argument. Your AR-15 fires 1 projectile per trigger pull. The 1301LT fires 9 pellets of double-aught buck per pull. At 7 yards, those 9 pellets create a wound channel roughly the size of a softball. No rifle cartridge on earth delivers that level of tissue disruption at close range. Street price, approximately $2,100. If you chose this, you train harder than most people around you, and you demand equipment that keeps up. Number 2. Genesis Arms Gen 12. What if your AR-15 and your shotgun were the same gun? Not a gimmick, not a range toy. The Genesis Arms Gen 12 is a legitimate fighting weapon built around a concept so simple it's almost offensive. Take everything you already know about running an AR and bolt a 12-gauge upper on top of it. This is a shotgun built on a standard AR-15 lower receiver. Your existing AR, triggers, pistol grips, and stocks all work. Drop in your favorite Chisel trigger. Run your preferred BCM stock. The lower you already own, the one with thousands of rounds through it, becomes the foundation of a whole new weapon system. The upper runs a short-stroke gas piston system, which keeps it cleaner than direct impingement. It feeds from detachable box magazines, 5-rounders for restricted states, 10-rounders for free states. The buffer system dampens recoil so the impulse is softer than you'd expect from a 12-gauge cycling through an AR platform. Here's the practical upside nobody talks about enough. If you already own an AR-15, you can swap lowers in under 60 seconds. One serialized lower, two uppers. You've got a 5.56 rifle and a 12-gauge shotgun without needing two separate registered firearms. In jurisdictions with registration requirements, that is a serious legal and logistical advantage. You don't learn a new manual of arms. You don't rewire muscle memory. You mount the upper and go. Street price, approximately $1,500 for the upper alone. If you chose this, you think in systems. You value modularity, and you understand that the best weapon is the one that fits seamlessly into what you already know. Number 1. Beretta 1301 Tactical Mod 2. This is the one. Everything else on this list is excellent. Some of it is legendary. But the Beretta 1301 Tactical Mod 2 is the reason this video exists. Beretta took the already dominant 1301 platform, the one with the blink gas system, the fastest cycling action in the shotgun world, and refined every single detail based on direct feedback from law enforcement, competitive shooters, and military contractors. This isn't a marketing refresh. This is a purpose-built fighting shotgun that went through real-world revision. The Mod 2 brings an improved loading port, an enlarged charging handle, a redesigned bolt release, and a rubberized stock texture that grips your shoulder under stress, not just at the range, but when your hands are shaking and your heart is at 180 beats per minute. The Picatinny rail comes standard. So do ghost ring sights that co-witness with red dots. Add a weapon light. Add an optic. You still have backup irons. It is a complete fighting system, straight out of the box. The trigger is clean. Recoil is soft. Reliability is absolute. This gun has been documented running tens of thousands of rounds without a single malfunction. Beretta didn't cut corners. They built this for professionals who stake their lives on their gear, and then made it available to the rest of us. Here's the argument that closes the case. An AR-15 in an apartment building over-penetrates. Rounds go through walls, through drywall, through the neighbor's living room. The 1301 Tactical Mod 2, loaded with Federal Flight Control 00 buck, delivers a tight pattern that dumps all its energy into the target. 9 pellets. One-shot stop, no exit wounds, no stray rounds finding unintended targets. In a civilian defense context, that's not just superior performance. That is legal and moral superiority. Street price, approximately $1,700. If you chose this gun, you understand that stopping power, speed, and responsibility are not mutually exclusive. You're not a hobbyist, you're a protector. The bottom line. Now it's your turn. Drop your argument in the comments. Tell me which gun I underrated, which one I overrated, and which one you're buying next. If this breakdown gave you something to think about, or something to argue about, hit that like button and subscribe to Modern Gun Reality.